How's it going, YouTube? Salt Princess here. Today I wanted to make a slightly different video for you. We are finally at the end of Legion, and this is kind of the point of the league where a lot of players tend to fall off. In fact, most of you have probably stopped playing the league already. And so initially I thought, well, maybe I'll make a video about the kinds of things that you can do to maintain your interest at the end of the league when it seems like, what's the point? Whatever I achieve in the next week is going to be gone by the end of the week. So why try? It's a reasonable way to feel, realistically. That's, you know, one of the big pitfalls of playing in a trade league like this. You know, when it's over, it's over. And a lot of us don't play standards, so it's really over. And everything's gone, and it's time to restart again, right? But, you know, if you want to play something else, I think there's a lot of really great games out there, and I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do. You'll be back. This is a great game too. So, we're not going to make that video. What I actually want to talk about is...
Life is short, deal.
What I actually want to talk about is my experience in Legion, and I want to maybe start a conversation with you guys about your experience in Legion as well, right? So, Legion for me was kind of a miss. I didn't think it was as exciting as a lot of people did. I know that a lot of people were just dying to get a simple, loot-filled, straightforward league, right? Just give me exalts. Just make the exalts rain from the sky. Give me 1 million of them. I want all the items, and I want it easy. And I just want to, like, play the fucking game, right? I don't want to do all this ridiculous shit. I don't want to have to buy extra stash tabs so I can fill them up with these fucking fractured items. I don't even know what these things do. Oh my god. You know. So, something simple. Less is more. And that's what we got. And, I wasn't all that excited by it. And to be perfectly honest, I had a very challenging league start. I kind of got pretty shafted. And, well, in the beginning, I really hated it, and I wasn't having a lot of fun, and slowly but surely I warmed up to it, and I ended up learning a lot about this game throughout the course of the league, right? So, what I ultimately want to talk about is, I guess I want to put my tinfoil hat on for a little while and make some speculations about, what actually happened this league, right? So we got some new content, we got new ways of acquiring items, and we got, I don't know, a pretty boring but definitely new mechanic, or, well, recycled mechanic, let's call it. And then last league, Synthesis, we got a lot of that as well, right? Synthesis was a rework of how a fair portion of the items in the game function. For instance, like the implicits of items no longer go away when you enchant them or corrupt them, right? So that's different, and it seems minor, but it is technically a rework of how the core mechanics of the game function. And beyond that, we also got a Zana rework. And from my perspective, we got a glimpse at what may end up becoming a rework of the Atlas. I'll come back to that. And now we're here in Legion. And what we got in Legion was some half-baked, but, you know, arguably enjoyable content. And I won't go much further into how I feel about the content. But what we got that was really cool is we got a massive rework of approximately 50% of the skills in the game. We got a rework on every single melee skill in the game, like literally, actually, every one of them, as well as most of the movement skills in the game, 1 or 2 ascendancies. We also got a rework of the overwhelming majority of monsters in the game, and a pretty massive rework to how boss mechanics work and how bosses' attacks wind up and are telegraphed, and also how they deliver their damage to you. And so it got me thinking, right? We reworked a bunch of things last league. We reworked a bunch of systems this league. We are going to get more reworked systems next league. And it's kind of slowly but surely dawning on me that what we're playing now and what we are going to be playing in the next couple of leagues are essentially beta tests for 4.0. We're getting to experience at least in a small sense what 4.0 may end up looking like. And I think that there's kind of an exciting conversation that could be had there. Obviously 4.0 is still a long ways away, but 3.8 will be announced tomorrow. We already know that there's intentions to rework some spells and rework the delve mechanic, and I don't know if there's any other announcements in terms of masters that will be reworked. Hopefully they'll rework the flippin' betrayal guys, because I gotta admit, having all of my crafting table locked away in that one type of content feels pretty bad. And you can tell me that there's also recipes in the Temple of Atzawaddle, but I don't care, because those recipes are trash, and so they don't count. So I need to stop using my mouse 4 button for important spells. That being said, though, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're beta testers right now. We're going to get a rework of at the very least, the Raider Ascendancy, and for all we know, there could be a lot of other things that get reworked that haven't been announced yet and will be tomorrow. It dawned on me ultimately that we are beta testing for 4.0 right now, and I think that that's pretty cool. I think we're at a pretty interesting time. And I'm going to shout out another YouTuber right now, which probably isn't like common practice on YouTube, but I don't care. I'm new here, and I'm also not... My goal on YouTube is to create content that is helpful and provide access to information to newer players, right? I'm not super interested in getting monetized. I do this for fun. So I'm going to shout out Tarky Cat for just a second here. Specifically because at the beginning of, I think it was Synthesis, Tarky Cat, has a relationship with folks at GGG, and they had an idea for something that they wanted to see put into the game, and they made it known, and they reached out, and they communicated very effectively with the staff at GGG, and they were able to get us stupid fucking celestial cats for a Soul Rend spell, right? And it's cheesy, and it's fun, and it's little, right? But the point I'm trying to make by referencing what Tarky did is that Tarky is ultimately just a person who plays the game, right? Just like the rest of us. And although Tarky's voice is a little louder than the average player's, my point is that Tarky said, I would like to see this in the game. I love this game. I think this would be a boon to the game. I think it would ultimately make the game better. And in doing so, it will also make the company more money. And I think that I think it's pretty safe to say that because ultimately everything is changing in this game right now, that we as a community have the opportunity to, make our desires known as well. The iron is hot, so to speak. There's no reason that we can't say, hey, I want Synthesis back in almost exactly the way that it existed before. I want the memory nexus back. I want fractured items back. I want to be able to create my own implicits on my items, and I will grind hundreds and hundreds of hours for those items over the course of however long it is that I end up playing this game. Perhaps, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, like some of the more dedicated Path of Exile streamers. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I didn't get an explodey weapon, okay? All I got was a silly +1 frenzy charge gloves with like +6 to maximum cold res. Not exciting. Good, not exciting. And I want a do-over. I want another chance. So basically what I'm saying is, now that we're at the end of Legion, I think that Legion was really good because Legion made some changes that feel really nice. And I'm really happy with the way that the game's playing right now. And even though I'm kind of a newer player, it does feel a lot different than it did when I started playing in Delve. In a really good way. And I would like to see more of that. So, without being, crybabies about anything, I think now would be a really, really good time for us to get a little bit more active in the way that we communicate with GGG. And, I don't know, maybe be like me and create some content and, I don't know, amplify your voice and make those desires that you have known. And maybe, just maybe, next League, somebody at GGG will make a really, really cool, I don't know, Map Cap Glacial Cascade, so I can have a really cool Map Cap Glacial Cascade miner that has an effect that looks a little something like, well, these little pokey things, right? That almost looks like Glacial Cascade already, doesn't it? It's almost like the assets are already in the game, and they already exist. All you would have to do is copy and paste them onto a skill. It's that easy. And then you could charge $18.50 for it, or $15, or whatever seems appropriate. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is, now is the time to strike, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy this game, tell them why. And also, tell them what would make you enjoy it more. So, that's all I really have to say. Also, if you don't know what to do with the rest of your time in this league, maybe just push yourself in learning new things about the game, right? I've never officially beaten hardcore without dying. I've never done the full campaign in hardcore mode without a death. And so that's my goal for the rest of the league. It's little, it's not going to require much of an investment beyond time, and it's fun for me. It's going to keep me in my chair for a little while. So, that being said, I hope you guys had a fantastic league. I hope you guys got everything that you desired and more. I hope you achieved all of the goals that you had for this league and had a great time doing it. So, that being said, take care of one another, and if you get the opportunity to, do something nice for yourself. It's the end of the league, right? Go outside, go on vacation, go to the beach, go do something fun. And while you're doing it, if you get the opportunity to, try and do something nice for somebody else as well. Life can be pretty hard from time to time, and we all need a little extra help, so take care of each other, and until next time.